Hello and welcome back, friends. What's going on? This is the Film Club. Maybe it's your first time, maybe it's not. Either way, welcome. I'm Carson. This is your buddy Groot, and we watch movies. We watch movies over here. A lot of times, especially if this is your very first time and you were to like go back through the old videos, a lot of them are going to be on the Criterion channel. They're going to be part of the Criterion collection. A lot of these films we watch are like older international films, sometimes, whatever. But we tried something a little different this time around, and it was so fun. I don't know about you. Maybe you are like me, and not only do you enjoy watching older films and going back in time, but you like staying relevant as well. And who is doing it the best these days? I don't know. There's a handful of people, but one of the companies that's kicking the most ass is definitely A24, and they have a bunch of movies now in their catalog, and they keep coming out. I mean, this year, 2022 alone, there's been like 6 A24 movies. So what's up, you guys? Thanks for putting out cool, original, independent films. This one that we watched this week is from 2014, and it's one of the A24 films that had just, I don't know, it had slipped through my fingers. I'd heard that it was good, but I never got around to watching it. And maybe you're like me. Maybe you're like, I love the people in this movie. I like movies like this movie. Why didn't I see it? Well, we cured that this week because thankfully HBO Max put like a bunch of A24 movies out. So we went for it and we watched J.C. Chandor's third feature film, A Most Violent Year, from 2014. No, 2014 is not the most violent year. Apparently it's 1981. So there you go. But this film stars Oscar Isaac and Jessica Chastain, two actors who are just absolutely killing it, and one of whom just won an Academy Award last year. What's up, Jess? Anyway, yeah, J.C. Chandor is a cool dude. Writer, director, maybe you saw his previous films, Margin Call, or All Is Lost, which is Robert Redford, Alone at Sea, which is a really cool movie. Or maybe you've seen Triple Frontier with that like all-star cast on Netflix. That's the one of his films somehow that I didn't see, but hey, this one right here, Most Violent Year. I remember when it came out, and I remember being like, that looks kind of like The Godfather or something, or like it wants to be that kind of movie. And I didn't really know that many people that actually watched it, so it wasn't like a movie that people were talking about. In doing a little bit of research, I saw that it came out on December 31st, which sometimes is a tricky spot to come out as a new movie, because it's right at the end kind of all the award season movies where it's like everybody's already got their favorites. Everybody's like, I already think Birdman's gonna win or whatever the hell, so like it takes a little while for movies like this to really find an audience. And I don't really feel like it has found its audience still to this day. It lost money at the box office. It didn't even didn't take a whole lot of money to make this movie, but they still didn't make their $20 million budget back. But it's a shame, because after watching this movie, I'm like, you know what? It's kind of exactly what I thought it was going to be, and not. Meaning that it looks... Also, the title alone, Most Violent Year. You kind of think that you're about to watch like a Scorsese movie or something. Like there's going to be a lot of shooting. A lot of gangsters shooting each other. And it's not really like that as much. It does... So we're going to get into some of the specifics of what happens in this movie. But something that I found very interesting is the National Board of Review is a body of folks who vote for movies, I guess. And they chose this movie as the best film of the year when it came out. And then it was nominated for 0 Oscars, was not nominated for best anything, which is kind of unique. The National Board of Review is a reputable organization. And it's kind of odd that they would champion a film so much and then it get no love from the Academy. But I just found that little tidbit interesting. It's got 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. People do like this movie. It is a bit of a slow burn, right? Like I said, it's not the most violent movie. There's really not even a whole lot of violence in it, particularly. What it does really well, and also like I said, Oscar Isaac, Jessica Chastain, they're amazing. And they are really good in this film. I saw a great Letterboxd review that said Oscar Isaac gives the best Al Pacino performance in 20 years. And I got a chuckle out of that review, but there was also a whole lot of truth to it, right? There's something to his character of Abel Morales I guess they call him Abel, but it looks like Abel. Anyway, Mr. Morales, he runs Standard Oil, an oil company in New York City. And what's cool is you've got this guy who's an immigrant to America, and he has built this company, and the kind of the industry of heating oil in New York City is just run by gangsters. It's almost like the joke of like waste management. You know, it's like mafia's involved. Come on. But so what's cool is like immediately people are robbing his trucks, and they're taking the heating oil and selling it to his competitors. So you kind of get this almost like Scarface, Godfather Part 2 element of what we're dealing with in the story. Now, what I dug about it is it's got a great cast. Albert Brooks is in there as the lawyer. There's some other people too. I'm sorry, but something that I appreciated is that it's really just a movie about business. It's a guy who is resisting the gangster life so much. He's trying to go the legit route every time. There's even a great line towards the end that I'm gonna butcher right now, but where he talks about like it's not always about doing good, it's about doing the thing that's the most right, which I appreciate. I thought that was an interesting little tidbit towards the end. But yeah, this guy is just struggling, man. He's like, I'm trying to get the loan so that I could get this building so that I could crush it in the winter. And he's just trying to build himself a little empire. But at every turn, like everyone, including the police, is basically like trying to get him to be a gangster. So there is, and I already mentioned like Godfather Part 2 specifically, because like it's Michael Corleone going a little bit more legit. But I would say even Abel Morales is a more moral fella than Michael Corleone. He doesn't like having guns around. He doesn't like violence. He doesn't like participating. He doesn't think we have to. So it's just a very like interesting kind of moral high ground character to be following for 2 hours. But goddamn, if Oscar Isaac doesn't crush it, he's so good, and I really feel like everyone needs to watch this movie because, you know, he's one of our actors, man. He's coming up right now, and he's doing some of his best work right now. And so, you know, to dip into this 2014 film. Fun fact that I only knew once I was doing some research, Javier Bardem was going to play this part. He was signed up to do it and everything, and then I guess there were just some him and JC couldn't quite get the character nailed down the way they wanted. So Jessica Chastain, who was already cast, was like, yo, you should cast my buddy from Juilliard, Oscar Isaac. And JC Chandler was like, funny you say that, I'm already looking at him. So it was basically meant to be that these two would be reunited post Juilliard and they'd make this awesome movie together. Just a general little critique. I thought Jessica Chastain was a little underused in this movie. Could have used a little more of her. But yeah, David oh God. So sorry, David. I'm having a hard time remembering how to say your last name. And usually I would read it, but I don't have it written down. Fuck me. Sorry, guys. I forget how to say his last name, but he's great in this movie, too. Yeah, watch A Most Violent Year if you haven't yet. If you were like me and you were curious about it, it is worth checking out. Any A24 movie, honestly, I'll go check it out for the most part. So, luckily, this one is pretty damn good. I'm glad I got to cross it off the list and say I've seen that movie now. So, if you are not already following Filmstruck Film Club, be sure to do that so that you can go ahead and be up to date with us for the next pick. We're going to have another one tomorrow. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. Groot, yeah, got anything else to say? He's Groot. Classic Groot. All right, I love you guys. Talk to you soon.